Today I am going to make sticky buns slash cinnamon rolls. So let's get into the video.
Maren, subscribe, super.
So tomorrow, I don't know when I'm posting this, but tomorrow is Dylan and my anniversary of 1 year. Crazy how fast this whole year has gone by. Like both of us feel like we don't even believe that it's been a year. It's just flown by, and that's what happens when you marry your best friend. It just goes by so quickly. But in the morning, I want to make him a nice breakfast, and I have plenty of time waiting for him to come home from sales. So I'm gonna make a dough for a sticky bun, sort of cinnamon roll breakfast. I was gonna make cinnamon rolls, but then I don't have powdered sugar or cream cheese, and he has the car. I'm not gonna go drive or walk to go get those things. I'm just gonna try to find everything that we have in the pantry. And I found a sticky bun recipe, which is practically like deconstructed cinnamon rolls without the glaze, but the glaze is extra. You get the idea. So join me in making the dough. Since I'm making the dough tonight, I don't know how much I'll film with the end result, like baking it and eating it, but we'll see. So let's start. All right, we're gonna add a half a cup of warm water into a large bowl, and then we're gonna measure out 1.5 tablespoons of yeast and put it in the warm water to activate it. All right, we're gonna let this stand for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna add all the other ingredients. So like I said in the previous video, I don't have much, so I realized I don't have a rolling pin. And I'm like trying to brainstorm how I can roll out the cinnamon rolls or the sticky buns, whatever I'm making, the treat, the breakfast. And I might have to use a cup or something. I'm trying to brainstorm in my head. Now we're gonna add 2.5 cups of flour to this yeast mixture. Now we are gonna add 1/4 cup of softened butter. Un momento. There it is. 2 eggs. A huge lump of sugar in here. 1/4 cup of white sugar. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And 2 teaspoons of salt. One, 2. Okay, you don't know how much time and effort I went into figuring out how to make buttermilk with, you obviously add lemon juice if you don't have buttermilk to milk, right? But then with the amount that they gave me, I needed to have 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk in general. So I had to figure this out. And I don't even know if this is right, but I did a little math, a lot of thinking. Okay, so if they need 1 cup, 1 1/4 cup milk. I don't have that big measure thing, so I'm just using these cups. So don't judge me. And this part you can't judge me because it's my make or break. Okay, so it said I looked it up and it said for a 1/4 you have to do 3/4 of a teaspoon, but then you had 1 5/4. Anyway, try 15/4. Guys, you don't need to this, but anyway, I think this is right. It's 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay. And I don't have 1/4 of a tablespoon, but I'm gonna fill this up this half up halfway to make a fourth. I don't think this extra amount is gonna make that much of a difference, but who knows. The reason I'm making it in this bowl is because I need to like mix the buttermilk together before I put it with the rest of it, I think. Buttermilk. Now add your 1 1/4 cup buttermilk to the mixture, the dough. Delicious. Okay, now we mix it all together, and I'm going to use my hands because I feel like, oh, something's happening. It's like bubbling a ton. Okay, I'm gonna start mixing with my hands so that, I don't know, I feel like my hands will do better than just a normal spoon, so. Now we're gonna add 3 cups of flour, but doing it in 1/2 cup increments. And I'm just gonna do one-handed so that my both hands don't get too messy. It's smelling like dough. I am trying to bring my inner KitchenAid bread mixture. Oh geez. All right, I stopped at 2.5 cups. I just don't want it to get too dry, and it's not very sticky. I think it's a good texture. I think it all depends on where you are in elevation or whatever, I think too. Obviously this is sticky, so I'll take that into account, but I'm also gonna put it on a floured surface. So I think that this might just stop, and hopefully when I need it on a floured surface, it'll get to what it needs to be like. All right, so I cleaned off this counter area, and I'm gonna, oh, that's a lot. I'm gonna put flour on here and grab out my dough. Yep, it's still a little sticky, but that's what that's what I was expecting. Now you're gonna knead this for 8 minutes or so. Instead of just skipping this, I think it's pretty satisfying, so I was just gonna give you guys a quick update on my life. Today I was gonna do laundry. I did do laundry, and I went to the place. I looked down at my pants. This dough feels so good. Oh my goodness, it looks like a little kid drew all over it. There's pen marks everywhere. And I have no idea, I feel like I have an idea, but I don't really know if that's true. Dylan's backpack that I was holding on to was rubbing against my leg, and in his side pocket there was a pen, but it was a clicker pen, and it was closed too. So, but I don't think it was on there when I left, so that was weird. I also got a job, sort of, with seminary. If you know what that is, it's our church's, they teach high school and students. So I got a job as a student teacher, but I also have to figure out where to teach, which is kind of weird. I don't really know how I'm gonna find a random teacher to join, but I talked to my institute director, and he is gonna help me figure that out, because in Idaho they get paid to teach. So I don't know how I'm just gonna join in on a teacher. And the person that like gave me the student teaching job, he forgot that I was moving there. So I don't even know if I'm still gonna have it. But that was like exciting news, but also like super stressful all of a sudden because I had to figure out where to teach on my own. So that's pretty much the update from my life. And Dylan and my anniversary is tomorrow, and I have surprised him with, well, I haven't given it to him yet, but I bought some not presidents. I bought him some presents, and I got like 2 white hats and fabric markers so that we can decorate hats for our 1-year anniversary. And I got him his favorite yellow cake with chocolate frosting, and I'm gonna make that for him while he's gone to come home too. I'm super excited about that. And guys, also don't do this with chipped nails. I found little pieces of my red nail polish in the dough. I'm really hoping I caught all of them. I was gonna try to hide it, but I was like, this is real. Like, I really should have been more mindful, but as I was rolling out the dough and stuff, I found some, so be mindful of that and just watch out for things that might fall in your dough. Anyway, now you can continue to watch the video. Alright, it's been 8 minutes of kneading this baby. I added a little bit more flour because it's still very sticky, but now it's very nice, very flappable. Now we are going to split this in half, and then we're going to roll out the 2 halves. Alright, so I don't have a rolling pin, so I'm gonna try this out. We're gonna see how well this works. I have good high hopes for this. Hey, it worked pretty well. All right, so that looks about 12 by 7, sort of. Next, we are gonna do a tablespoon of softened butter. I don't know if I softened it enough. Oh no. I hate when they say softened because they're totally meaning melted. They tricked me. Okay. Alright, hopefully that'll be good. Next up, we are gonna pour 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just gonna generously go over top of it. Alrighty. Next up, you roll from the long sides across. Alright, I didn't seal the sides, so I'm going to seal them now just by pinching the sides together. And now we're going to cut this in 12 slices. I don't have floss or anything, so I'm going to use this little knife. It's definitely not 12. I'm just going to do how many I think are a good size. Alright, so the recipe that I'm following is doing 2 round cake pans. I don't have those. So I'm just gonna do 1 large baking sheet. I know that they won't be able to like rise up on the sides very much, but I'm hoping that by letting them sit for a while, they'll be able to rise up on their own. Who knows, we'll see. But we're gonna put 1/4 of a cup of melted butter into the pan. And add 1/4 a cup of brown sugar. Now, I don't have pecans. It asked for 1/2 cup of pecans and 1/2 cup of raisins, which I don't have either. But I have this mixed nut thing that has some pecans in here. So I might go diving in for them a little bit. But if you're making it for yourself, get your own pecans. I'm sure I could put other nuts in here, but I don't want to ruin it. I feel like they only had like 5 pecans. Anyways. Alrighty. So this is what we got for pecans. I'm gonna do this to help them go farther. All right, so I'm going to mix this all up in here and then put the rolls on top of it. So you're supposed to do each cake pan. So I was making 2 cake pans, putting them in there. So I need to put 2 servings of that brown sugar butter mixture. So I was wondering why it was so little, the little amount. So I'm gonna double that up and show you the end result. Alrighty, still isn't too much, but I added some cashew crunch stuff because it says online that cashews are okay to use with pecan substitution. So we'll see if it ruins it. But now I'm gonna place this one and the other half on this baking sheet and hope they all fit. I tried to give them a little bit of space, but obviously they're probably gonna envelop each other's areas. But these were the ends that didn't have as much of the sugar, so I'm fine with them being scrunched. But turns out it needs to be covered for a while. And I don't have a cover for this baking sheet. So I'm gonna have to improvise, but I'm keeping it overnight. So, and in the fridge probably overnight. Gotta think on that one. Stay tuned for tomorrow morning when I bake these, and if I film, yeah, I'm assuming I'm gonna film and I'll show you guys the results. I'm sure you guys are all gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna try this out. I put Ziploc bags, which we do have, on each side, and I'm gonna tape the sides around it to cover it up. I don't even feel like covering is necessary, but this is what they look like with my makeshift folding. It did get a little bit bigger. Good morning. We're gonna put them in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes. Alright, I took it out after 25 minutes. Probably could have come out sooner, but it was supposed to be for 30, so I'm glad I checked on them. This is what they look like. And you're supposed to flip them so that the juicy stuff is on the top. But I don't know how I'll do that with this situation, so I'll probably just take it out with a spatula and then flip it onto the plate. Okay, this is what it looks like. Yum! Cashews? No. More icing? Yes. But still good. Sorry, that was the end of the video. I was just with Dylan eating and I didn't want to like take too much time videoing while I was eating with him on our anniversary. So overall, I found out that it was actually the pecans that I didn't like. I think it was because they were salted and like roasted. Normal pecans would be great, but I think the ones that I had added was not the best plan. And then, yeah, definitely more icing. Felt like it needed some more. It kind of felt like just like a sweet roll. So if you wanted to really be like sticky buns or just gooey goodness, I would add more of that topping on it. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me prepare this meal with literally nothing. Didn't even have a rolling pin. So I hope you guys are inspired to make a fun meal. And thanks for watching. Peace.